As we've discussed, operating a model train business, it requires a lot. Models have to be highly accurate. There's a research component, which can take years, as you described. We're working on a project right now where the individual doing the research has devoted 10 solid years to this single project. We released a Trenton Works 67-foot, 11-inch bulkhead flat car. We didn't have information to accurately render all of the appliances on the bottom of the car, particularly right around the draft box. There's some mechanisms, it's got mechanisms that allow the air hoses to swing, and we really wanted to capture that well. And of course, with the appropriate permission, I was on the property measuring the car, and in order to get that, I had to climb up underneath the car, literally between the wheels of the car like this, and diagram all of that out, which is an incredibly claustrophobic place to be. Yeah. Moreover, in order to do it and meet our timelines, I'm there all night. And I kid you not, I had 6 pairs of pants on and numerous coats, because all of that steel and that ballast, it amplifies the ambient temperature. And in this case, it happened to be cold. And there's spiders, and you're doing this work. And lots of time, just the design in-cab phase is a month of a person's time, full-time. And then you've got the actual tooling, right? Which is the phase of development where the molds are created. And then you have parts creation, the artwork for the lettering and painting of the models, and then there's assembling and packaging, and you've got a finished product. If one is looking for an industry to make a buck, one shouldn't be thinking model trains. Right? So the motivations are elsewhere. If you sum all of the major manufacturers, let's exclude Walthers, they're a distributor as much as they are a manufacturer. And, the local Home Depot probably employs more people. I mean, really, think about that. It's not inclusive in that it doesn't invite new people into the hobby. Because what's exciting today with an announcement doesn't deliver for 6 months. It doesn't deliver for a year. In terms of the sales machinery of those announcements, they're often delivered by way of line art, and a list of road names, which in the business of sales is a pretty weak way to represent your product. Again, manufacturers are relying on a set of assumptions, and those assumptions don't grow the industry. So I have concerns about that. I'm a model railroader too, right? And it will happen that there'll be an announcement, and a couple of things will be announced, simultaneously, and you just can't have everything you want. And if a person sells out so quickly, that can be frustrating. It felt like we really wanted to carry inventory, and so we started structuring our numbers so that we'd have inventory for about 6 months to 9 months, and that's a little bit more difficult to predict. Put yourself in a position of somebody new coming to the hobby. What is their first inclination, given that they can't find a hobby store locally? They go online, right? And if the attitudes and opinions of people online aren't conducive, to objectively identifying the positives and the negatives, then how does a person then get excited? Right, and want to spend their money and want to be involved in the hobby. I would really hope that the consumer
from time to time, would take a step back and say, given the size of the industry, given that it's small, what can I do to help grow the industry? What can I do to help promote it? And so to consumers, I would ask, if you were developing a project for yourself, how would you promote it? And then I would like to remind them that the industry is so small that there's a sense in which that is happening, right? In the same way that the industry is so small that manufacturers, often the work of manufacturers is done by very few.
It's people like you, people here in this room who have a devoted and long-standing interest in the hobby, who know what they want, who have a familiarity with manufacturers to the extent that when a manufacturer does make a claim for an upcoming product, they know, within a certain range what the quality is going to look like and what they can expect. For me, I have to admit, I'm in it for the love of the game. I do get a great deal of satisfaction out of doing a job very well. And so you'll continue to see that kind of quality from us. So, thank you.